So again, in reading the information, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, in having an awareness, working with your solar plexus, you're going to want, you may over the next month, you may want to spend a little time doing some spiritual house cleaning in there. And again, as I go through the booklet, I've given us some tools to command health into space, but also before you leave here today, I want you to clearly understand how to create a vortex, go into your solar plexus, and spin out and clear all density, all blockage, all cordings, etc. And it's very simple, but I want you to have just a clear technique so that when you leave here over the next month, you at least have that with you if you feel you need it. You can learn how to call on your MAP team and your personal healers and create a vortex in your solar plexus that is designed, and you ask for help, whether it's your higher self or your guides, whatever you feel comfortable with, but learning how to do a vortex spinning out density so that you can allow an easy transition of these frequencies to come through your body and have it open and ready. That's what we want. Nice and easy. That's what we choose. So anyway, so back to, that's our May alert, let's say. The other thing I would like to say as well is this is an amazing time. We have reached a new point, I would say a new era in the human species has began in the last few months, and it's truly quite amazing. Definitely one of the things that is being emphasized at this time is we are in a miraculous moment, and that we've reached a level where things have transpired for the human being that have never again transpired before. And that's very exciting news for us. We are starting to clear frequency fences that have prevented human consciousness from accessing different layers of their higher self and higher identity. Truly, it's an amazing time for human consciousness. So it's really going to be fun, a fun ride in the next few years. So let's talk about genetic path cutting. Not everyone is a genetic path cutter. However, I have found that many of us, as starseeds or from the indigo races, took on specific agreements to clear group planetary energies. So in understanding this, it's very important. So generally what happens when we go through our spiritual and soul evolution is we will come to a level of clearing our own personal house, so to speak. Once we've gotten purified and we have dealt with and cleared a significant level of let's say, density within our personal biologies, many of the esoteric wisdom talk about 51% is what it takes. If you clear 51% of your cause and effect, you're holding enough light quotient in your bodies to actually move to the next field. You know, something like that. They've kind of confirmed it is like that. It's a light quotient. As much light as we hold in our particular etheric template bodies, our atomic and then subatomic and molecular structures, we are actually shifting from carbon-based beings to more silica-based beings. This is actually, we're mutating and becoming less dense, literally. So as we do this genetic path cutting, again, I have found in my experience, that's all I can share you, plus some of the confirmation that I have received in my practice in dealing with this, is that the star family, the indigo family, many of us took on additional soul contracts that said, I will take a percentage of the demographic that I've been assigned to clear off the grid system structure or the unified fields in that particular area. I will clear and assist in holding my body as like a cosmic filter. I have seen as well, which has been rather fascinating, some beings with a literal fan-like object in their solar plexus, literally a fan that spins out energy. When they walk into a group area, that this fan starts spinning density and transmuting it into higher vibration. It's amazing. So in understanding this though, we can get kind of clogged up like some clogged pipes do. And this is why this is such good tool work to have, because when you know how to do your spiritual house cleaning and clean your pipes, then you can, again, you can keep the natural cycle going. Because again, our biologies are fine with this. Our challenge is our consciousness doesn't always interact at the personality level to know what we're doing down here. So when we actually, if this does resonate with you personally, then even just that fact of shifting the awareness to that knowledge helps your body so much in being able to work with some of these challenges. When you understand that's what's going on, wow, I can call on my spiritual support, I can clean out my solar plexus, and I can, transmute these energies. So the genetic path cutter has been working with planetary grid work, has been working with what I call the frequency fences, okay? And this is what I alluded to a little bit earlier, which was kind of a recent discovery for me as well, is that if you think of the Earth in terms of having an auric field or body, just like we do, think of 7 solar planes, 7 light bodies around the Earth. And each one of those planes are energies that humans have contributed to in terms of their thoughts, their emotions, their experiences, etc. So remember, every single thought, every single emotion we feel, individually, collectively, is recorded. It's recorded in the field. So if you can imagine that, that's pretty amazing when you think even just now, with 6.5 billion people on the planet, every single thought, every single emotion is held in the planet's body. So as you could probably know, there's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of amazing things, but there's also, when you look at what's happening on the planet right now, we can see that there's still a tremendous amount of belief structures around poverty, suffering, disconnection, separation, these sorts of things. So again, we're path cutting and clearing the way for the collective unconscious at that level. And we're working with these various planes. So you could almost think of it as a thing. It's a plane of existence. When there's a plane of fear that all of these souls have contributed that vibration to, it creates like an iron wall of density. And many people have asked me over the years, why is it, as we kind of evolve and go through our evolution, that our guides have such a hard time communicating with us? Well, no wonder. If you can imagine how dense it is in the 7 planes around the 3rd dimensional planet Earth, this is why they've requested to us to develop the handshake, open our antakarana, our central sushumna, to connect to them so they can grab on to the other side. We're actually literally working with a lot more frequencies of energy, and a lot of the dimensions are starting to, let's say, collapse. So we're having a much easier time now connecting to Source, to our guides, to the planetary masters and the galactic masters. But over time, over the last like 30,000 years, it's been very challenging to open those levels of connection because of the cycle that human evolution has been in as a species, and we're now leaving at this time, which again is so exciting. So genetic path cutting also, what I have found is there are specific agreements. Most of us that are genetic path cutters became involved with virus a couple years ago. And so I wanted to again share that because virus actually, viral patterning and virus actually has a large part to play in human evolution in burning out old or dysfunctional DNA patterns that have existed as distortions in the human race. So we don't tend to think of virus as an ego transcendence tool, but apparently it's one of the ways human species is getting evolved into higher levels of functioning and connecting into the next level of the reality field. So that's one of the things I wanted to bring up, is that we will start to see, and already are seeing, changes with virus, hybridized virus, different versions of virus, and a lot of us again will continue to see and deal with particular viral patterning in our bodies.